All right. Hey, this is artist, entrepreneur, and art educator Eric McRay. I'm here in my studio at Art Space in downtown Raleigh, and this beautiful young lady by the name of Kia came by the studio and was curious about art and a career in art and all this stuff. So I said, well, you know, you came by here to ask questions, so why don't we tape or film? I guess what do you usually say now? You don't film anything. I guess you tape it.
Yeah.
You tape it.
Yeah.
So Kia's an artist, and I had an opportunity to look at some of her artwork and give her some pointers. But she's gonna ask me a few questions, and maybe some of these things will help you folks out there as well.
Yes.
All right, fire away. What's your questions?
Sorry.
All right, just don't ask me when I lost my virginity.
I
Okay.
will not do that.
All right. Somebody actually asked me that one time on a TV program live, and it was like, so where did you lose your virginity? I was stunned. So don't ask me that question.
That's it.
All right.
All right. So how long have you been doing art?
How long have I been doing art?
Yes.
I've been doing art my whole life. I've been busy at this. I've been working full time as an unemployed full-time professional artist for the last 20 years.
What inspired you to transition?
All right, speak up a little bit louder.
Sorry. What inspired you to transition into art?
What inspired me to transition into art was the fact that I was doing something. I was always doing my art, but I worked in other professions. And for a while, I worked in biomed. I was in financial services, and the job I had before I went off to art, doing my art full time, was computer hardware, software, licensing sales. So to learn a lot about business, and did well. But art was my first calling and what I was supposed to do in my life. So I had to get where I was supposed to be.
Have any of those jobs transitioned into your artwork?
Well, that's an excellent question. I learned a lot about marketing and sales. And a lot of thing about selling to anybody and sales is people think selling is forcing something on somebody. I'm going to get this person to buy something they don't want so I can get their money. I can promise you, most people, you're not going to get their money unless they want you. The guy with 6 kids, you're trying to sell him a sports car, and he needs a big minivan. Odds are you're not going to convince him to get that sports car.
Unless he's having an affair.
Unless he's going through a stage of life, he needs a sports
Right.
car, right?
Yeah.
With his 6 kids. But the thing is that now your job is to find him what he needs, what kind of minivan you need, how big, how many gadgets, whatever, open doors, automatic doors, and all the junk that he and his wife are going to need for their minivan. So you're providing a service to this person.
Right.
You're helping this person find what they want. So you're resolving problems. You're overcoming challenges in their life. Sir, this is the perfect vehicle for your family. And that's a lot about art. And selling art is this: you create something of yourself, and then somebody says, well, I want some of your art. Well, you help them find what best matches their lifestyle. They want something big, small, big. They like red, they like black, like abstract paintings, realistic paintings, whatever. So you might asking questions. It's not just talk. But it's like, well, what do you like? What makes you happy? And then you help them match their wishes to what you want, and then the price that they can afford. So that's where I learned a lot of that in the business world, and I carried it over to my understanding of a career as a fine artist or professional artist.
Do you find yourself drawing more on an at-need basis, or do people come to you with stuff that they would like and you find that the art was already done?
So do I do more work just for myself or commission work?
Yes.
Okay, I do a good amount of commissions, but most of my production is things that come to my mind, and people like it or not is up to them. I just had a huge jazz painting sell yesterday. I had no one in mind. It was called Big Blue Yonder, and I wanted to paint a man playing the trumpet. I like the color blue, and whatever was going on in my life, the color blue permeated my thoughts and went into that painting. They connected with them. They loved it. They had to own it. So, but I do commission work. So somebody may say, "Can you paint me a similar jazz musician, but paint them yellow, whatever?" And that's fine with me because it's what I'm already doing. Versus if somebody said, can you do a painting of a bunch of dogs playing pool? I'm not going to do that. Or can you do a painting of my baby? I don't do paintings of folks' kids. That's not my bag. Okay. Ask the question that pertains to what what you want to do. You're asking about me. That's great. But what do you think that would help you as a young, I call it perspiring artist? Yeah, because you're still sweating. You're working hard,
Yes.
so you're perspiring artist. You're not you're aspiring and perspiring at the same time.
Okay.
So I mean, here you are. You come by my studio. You have these questions. What would be a golden nugget, a silver bullet to help you?
Well, that last question actually helped me because I didn't know how to take it. So that's actually good. Thank you
Okay.
for answering that.
All right.
For me, I just want to know how to balance, even though I haven't really transitioned into full-blown artistry. Like, how do you balance, or how did you balance family, life, art, all that before you went full-fledged?
Okay, here's the deal. Before I went full time as an artist, I was always still producing.
Okay,
I was producing a lot of art. I had a second shift job at the time, so I got home at 11 o'clock at night. I produced most of my work between midnight and 4 in the morning. I didn't have children at the time, so I could commit a lot more time to my work. But frankly, I think balance is totally overrated. I don't think the people that really achieve greatness are the people that are most balanced people. I think that's something that some psychologists told us, that we need to have work-family balance and all this stuff. I spend a lot of time with my children, to the point they're sick of looking at me sometimes. Hey, Daddy, don't you want to go to the studio? But I can always be productive, and then when I get in the studio, I'm really, going for what I know. But I think to really burst through, I just did a vlog post about the importance of building velocity. And there's times you're going to have imbalance. It can't be perpetual, but it's going to be a season where you just have to be a little over the top, a lot over the top, because that's what it takes sometimes to break through. I mean, you're not going to casually bust through a wall. You're not pushing through paper, wet paper towels or something. You got to push through a wall. You're going to make an airplane go through the sound barrier. It has to go, something 750 miles per hour to break through the sound barrier, to go to supersonic speed. And greatness and expertise requires you to put a lot of time in. And, you got to turn off Netflix. You got to get off of Facebook when you're just goofing off. Looking at crazy cat videos, a cat walking backwards, or a dog saying "mama" or something stupid. That stuff can suck up a lot of time. I'm guilty of it too. So, I mean, I'm not, beating folks across the head, but the thing is that you got to really say, okay, I'm going to put that 10,000 hours in that it takes to become an expert. And only way you're going to be great at it is by doing it. I mean, someone wants to learn how to play the violin or the piano. They're not like casually playing. They're really putting the time in. They go, oh my God, Aretha Franklin could play so beautifully. She wasn't born just playing that piano like that.
That's the case.
Even with all her natural talent, the lady had to train, and she worked hard from being a young woman. So she honed her skills.
Yeah.
So natural talent is totally overrated.
True.
God-given talent is totally overrated. People don't really want to work at their craft. You gotta bust your hump, and you're gonna make a lot of bad stuff in the process of making a lot of good, to get a lot of good stuff.
Okay. I believe that.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the real deal. I know.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no debate for that.
Yeah.
Anybody want to come debate me about it, I tell them they were foolish, because it's not the truth, and you're going to have to put the time in. You can try to fake it, but the work's going to tell if you're a fake or phony, and whether you really know your stuff or not.
Well, then that's a good question.
Yeah.
Right now,
Okay.
you think I'm fake or phony?
No,
with the work
I think you're a young, perspiring artist. So you still, it takes many miles of canvas to become a great artist. You're starting your journey. I'm in my 50s. I started this journey when I was a little boy. I mean, by the time I was in my 20s, I've done more than a lot of artists have done their whole life. I mean, I'm a maniac. I'm obsessed. I mean, other than God and my family, this is what I love most in my life. So, and if that's not the case, then you really don't need to do this. Don't look at it as a profession. It might be a cool hobby, like, oh, I like playing video games or going bowling or we go fishing. But if you're going to be a guy, I met guys who compete in fishing tournaments.
Yeah.
Those guys got the boat, they got the trailer, they know every lure, they're experts. They know what time of season that fish make love and when they go to sleep at night. I mean, they're experts on fish. They're hunters.
Yeah.
They're not casually going fishing on Sunday afternoon and getting tournaments and corporate sponsorship. So you have to be that if you want to play in the big leagues. You have to have a big league, big idea and a big attitude about going and getting this thing. So I say to you, not being harsh or anything, but being realistic, you're starting your journey. So you have to be fair to yourself. You can't be unreasonable and say, oh, I got to have the same expectations or expectation of result that Eric McRay has, who's been grinding for 50 years.
I got you. No, I got
Yeah,
you.
you know, how long you been grinding? A year?
Less than that, probably.
Less than a year. Okay, 50 years, 1 year. Big difference.
Yeah.
So to all you folks out there who are learning, it's okay. Remember, it takes many miles of canvas to become a great artist. So this is a piece, let's say this is an imaginary piece of canvas. And this canvas is running down a road. And it's going through the city of Raleigh. You're literally painting your way across that. So you're not going to get overly particular about this one because you still got a long way to go. Don't make it too precious. Don't take it too personal. You got to keep moving.
Okay.
All right.
That's all I can think of.
That's all you can think of.
Yes.
That was a fantastic question.
Thank you.
You did great. You earned your keep.
Yeah.
Yeah, she came by unannounced. Hey, I want to critique my art. I'm like, oh, Lord. Well, since you're going to come here unannounced, I'm going to force you to be on my vlog. Wasn't that pretty good?
Yes.
Had a good time,
Yes.
right? There you go. All right, well, once again, Eric McRay, located in downtown Raleigh, 201 East Davie Street. If you want to come by, shoot me an email, text. I can't promise I'm always here. I'm a moving target. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Visit my website, ericmcray.com. You can email me at eric@ericmcray.com. And it's been a pleasure. Thank you for being here, Kia, and coming by the studio. It's been great. We met once before some time ago, and she came by again. So keep in touch and take care.